and then turn your game up a notch when it gets to playoff time. So again, 3 games left in the season. Oklahoma got a big bump in the latest polls. We'll discuss that coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, the Oklahoma Sooners received a big bump after their 33-27 win over the Tennessee Volunteers in Knoxville, Tennessee. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the coaches, the AP poll? Let's look at the AP poll first.
I think it's the one that matters the most, to be honest, right? Because this is the one that's probably going to get the most judgment when the college football playoff rankings drop this week, because that comes out on Tuesday night.
Oklahoma moved up to number 11 in the poll, which is awesome to get that kind of respect. That is a huge jump. But I think what it says is everybody nationwide respects Tennessee and respects that win that Oklahoma pulled off in Knoxville.
Right, and they still got Tennessee ranked in the top 25, in which I think Tennessee should finish this season. They have a very good shot at going 9-3. When I look at the schedule that they have in front of them, let's see, you're dealing with what? You got Vanderbilt at the end of the season, which I think that's going to be the game that could be a good determining factor of how far they end up going, because they host them in Neyland. They travel to the Swamp. So, and then they got a cupcake in New Mexico State. So they got the opening next week like us. They got a cupcake, which is a guaranteed win. That will move them up into the 7-3. Florida, I think they can win down there at the Swamp with the way this team can play. And then they wrap the season up to go for their 9th win against Vandy, which looks even better for us.
Yeah, it's a win that will continue to look like a good win as the season goes along. And then you look at your other games, and Alabama's a top 5 team. They're number 4 in the nation. That's what you got coming out of the bye. So a big opportunity. Oklahoma's going to go into that as an underdog, which they should be. But the expectations are Alabama's going to win that one. When everybody looks at it from across the country, probably even locally, a lot of people are going to expect Alabama to win that one. But there's going to be an avenue for Oklahoma. This is one of those opportunities similar to those early 2000 teams where it's, hey, Oklahoma's the underdog. This is where we want to be. You're fighting upward. You're fighting uphill battles. Go shock the world, shock the nation. And then Missouri, that's another team that should stay in the top 25 up until you play them.
I'm kind of concerned that they won't. And it's nothing against them. But looking at them, they're 19 right now, John, in the AP poll. Coaches poll has them at 17. So they're in some good spots, right? So you would think, all right, that's not too bad, not too shabby. They had a bye week this week. Next week, they host Texas A&M, top 5 team in the country. They may lose that game because
we'll lose that game.
They have A&M is playing ridiculously great football, and they've got a backup. They've got their 3rd quarterback now. Now, granted, if Missouri pulls the shocker of the season with this true freshman, if Matt Zoller tells us that he's that dude, then never mind. That's going to propel them. And then they have Mississippi State coming into town, which I think that game's going to be a lot tougher than anticipated because it's the perfect trap game before they come to Norman. Their focal point's probably going to be coming to Norman because if they can pull an upset in Norman, that really helps them in the conversation around the playoffs. But they got to beat A&M first. Then they travel to Arkansas right after Oklahoma. And so for the Sooners, a healthy Oklahoma team going up after Alabama, playing Missouri at home and then LSU at home, should be at least 2 out of 3 games won. 9 wins feels like where you could be at. Granted, you could go and end up winning 10 games if you can pull the upset of the century in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, and I think it's on the table. I said it in the live show. Somebody had commented that if Oklahoma plays the way they played against Tennessee, that they'll have a chance to beat Alabama. And I 100% agree. This is a team that when they're right, and things are working right offensively, John Mateer is playing the way that he played. Again, good enough, doesn't have to be great, but he's playing good enough. He's moving the ball. He's getting you into scoring opportunities, and Tate Sandell is kicking the way that he's kicking. You're going to have a lot of chances to win football games, and you're going to have a chance to win that game against Alabama. Ty Simpson is dealing. He's playing great ball. They've got a great wide receiver trio. They've got a really good team. They're going to be tough to stop. It's, again, another great matchup between a great play caller in Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb and a great play caller in Brent Venables. A great offense versus a great defense. All that Oklahoma has to do is keep this thing in the 20s defensively, and you're going to have a chance to win the football game.
That's all you got to do. If you
can pull that one off, you're going to be well within the top 10, go finish the season strong, and you're going to be a playoff team. Like, it's on the table. And I think 100%. if you're being honest with yourself as an Oklahoma fan, you wanted to be in November with a shot at making the college football playoff. You wanted to be in the discussion. You're going to be in the discussion. You may be a top 12 team when the first college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday.
Yeah, you could easily be a top 10 team because luckily your 2 losses are to
Texas.
2 teams that are ranked probably in the top 15 on that. So you got Texas and you got Ole Miss, Ole Miss is a top 5 team right now. So there's a very good chance, or top 17, right? So there's a very good chance that you're going to end up being in that conversation of, okay, you didn't lose to scrubs. Both your teams that you lost to consider top 25. And I know a lot of Texas fans are asking the question is, why is Texas ranked underneath Oklahoma? Can't go into overtime with 2 of the worst teams in the conference back-to-back weeks and think people were just going to just say, you good. That's no different than, I mean, Vanderbilt, if they started early, that game shouldn't have been as close as it was. That's the point. That Vanderbilt game had zero reason when you go out, jump on them 17-3. There's no reason that game should have been up so close. So the voters look at that. They're like, hold back. But by them keep winning, it still makes Oklahoma look good. So keep winning.
Yeah. Well, and I think people are understanding that maybe the Oklahoma team that played Texas wasn't the best version of Oklahoma that day. And I'm not going to sit here and try and take anything away from Texas. They won the game. They beat Oklahoma fair and square. Some block in the backs, notwithstanding, on the Ryan Niblett punt return touchdown. But this Oklahoma team looks better than that Oklahoma team. The Oklahoma team that lost to Ole Miss looked better than the team that played against Texas. So it's understandable. It's reasonable. But I think the College Football Playoff Committee will give Texas the bump over Oklahoma at this point just because of the head-to-head. It wouldn't surprise me. But, again, everything is there for Oklahoma. You control your own destiny. Don't leave it in the College Football Playoff Committee's hands. Go win games and just force your way in. You go 10-2, you're in the playoff. Nobody's going to have a question. Nobody's going to be able to sit there and discount your resume. Your resume is going to be excellent, and you'll have earned your spot. You go 9-3, you'll still have a shot to kind of back into the playoff, but you'll need a lot of help across the country, especially from like the conferences like the ACC and the Big 12 kind of galvanizing themselves or eating their own in those situations. Hey, we really didn't touch on this, Jay, but I just kind of wanted to get your reaction to 2 players' performances in the game against Tennessee before we get out of here. And we can talk more about this on another show, but just give me your thoughts on Owen Hineke's performance on Saturday. Starting for Kobe McKenzie was just awesome.
Dog. 13 tackles. He's playing dog. He's a dog. And he's still got that thumb thing. Like, I mean, I know if y'all have heard the lore behind the story of it, but for the uninitiated, I can't think of which game it was, but he broke a bone, and supposedly the bone was sticking out his thumb and his blood all over the place. They wrapped him up real good, got him going. He's like, all right, we're back in the game. It's kind of like the Ronnie Lott cut the tip of his finger off.
That's a lacrosse player for you.
Right? Exactly. That's the toughness of it. You used to bodying up with people. So, no, you got him coming in there as a walk-on, just being that tough and scrappy and just caring that much. Mm-hmm. He's shown massive improvements. Like, you've had your moments where he's like, he's kind of struggling, but for the most part, he walked in there and was like, nah, I'm a grow and get better, and he's proven himself 100% in all capacities here.
Yeah, absolute dog. That's the best way to describe him. The dude has been phenomenal. Maybe the best story for Oklahoma this season.
Oh, yeah,
maybe
easily.
Next, like him and Tate Sandell, I think are the top two right now. And then the other guy I want to ask you about is Xavier Robinson, the Carl Albert product. Had another really strong game. X gonna give it to you. 100 yards, touchdown. It did have the fumble, but again, you get punched in the head and things could happen. But talk to me about his performance, man.
I'm proud of Rob, especially because he bounced back after the fumble that he had that could have led to us going up double digits.
Yeah.
Right. You get down there, you get to the zone where you need to get to, and the way that he was powering through them, he was going to score another touchdown. They were not going to stop him from scoring a touchdown. But then, unfortunately, they did stop him from scoring a touchdown by causing a fumble. And the good thing is the defense went ahead and forced them to go 3 and out after that. But yeah, that was one of those. He wanted that back.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is, like I said, he was able to bounce back from that, and then he had that massive run where he probably should have went ahead and scored. My thoughts behind that play was, if they did it the way that Rob's mind was going towards, he falls on the 1, you kneel 1, they call a timeout. You kneel on 2nd, they call another timeout. Heck, you go ahead and you kneel on 3rd. Burn that clock all the way down to like 40 seconds, and then you run it in there with Rob.
Mm-hmm.
If they stop you at the 1 yard line.
Right.
If they don't stop you, you're up 2 scores, and it's like 30 seconds left in the game. Yeah. You kind of wanted to do that. They didn't. But at the same time, the fact that John Mateer threw that interception is the only reason why Rob got that 43-yard run. So I can't be too pissed.
Yeah.
Truth be told.
Yeah. And listen, I don't mind Xavier Robinson trying to think through that. You know what I mean?
No, it was smart.
That's
it
like
remind me of Gavin Salchuk did it
Yeah.
against UCF.
Yep. So I don't mind it. Whether he should have scored, he shouldn't have scored. That's a player that's thinking and he's trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to help my team in this situation?
Right.
You know, and listen, it all worked out in the end. Oklahoma got the win. They scored on the drive. No big deal. I just like that the player was thinking about it and he's trying to figure out, how do I help my team in this situation? But I really would have wished Oklahoma would have given him the ball there and let him score that touchdown because he should have gotten it anyway. But yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts on that. We'll talk more about some other players' performances coming up this week. We got the bye week to continue to break down where Oklahoma's at this point in the season. So again, make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube. Follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. And until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. For all of you in Sooner Nation and around the world, a resounding Boomer
Sooner.
And it's Monday morning. Another great day to remind Ben Arbuckle, run the
ball.